when I was washing my girlfriend's underwear. I found a circle of brownish-yellow stains inside. I held it up to my nose and sniffed, and realized it smelled like cigarette smoke. But she doesn't smoke at all, and I quit smoking over a year ago. Can someone explain what the hell is going on here? I stood in the bathroom holding the underwear, and couldn't stop my mind from racing. The more I thought about it, the weirder it felt. Just then my girlfriend sent me a text. "Babe, I have to work overtime again tonight. You go to bed first." I got Jiangshi her job through a contact of mine. She works as an HR assistant at a private company. I picked that job for her because it's low stress and stable, but she's been working overtime a lot lately. She doesn't get home till almost 10 p.m. every night. I didn't think much of it at first. I thought she was actually swamped with work. But now that I think about it, something's off. Like, really, really off. I held back my anger and texted her back. "What time do you get off work? I'll come pick you up." "Ah, no need, babe. You know how it is. It's the end of the year, we're super busy. I don't even know when I'll finish here." I changed my clothes and headed out right away, and drove straight to Jiangshu's company. The lights in her office were on. I stood by the door and could hear people talking faintly inside. I didn't just barge in. I took out my phone and called Jiangshu. "I don't feel good about you going home alone. I'll wait for you downstairs at your office." "Wait, what? I said you don't need to come, right?" "It's okay, baby. I'm already downstairs at your office." "Wait, no. You actually came. What are you doing here?" Listening to her obviously flustered voice on the phone, I didn't say anything more to her. I hung up and hid in the stairwell. A few minutes later, Jiangsu came out, followed by a man in a business suit. The two of them walked to the elevator entrance and wrapped their arms around each other. She even kissed the guy goodbye all reluctantly. While they were kissing, his hands were groping all over Jiangsu restlessly. Seeing this made my blood boil. I really wanted to rush out right then and strangle both of you. Then I heard the guy say with a laugh, "Your boyfriend really cares about you, huh?" "Ugh, don't even mention him. He's like a clingy leech, such a killjoy. Why not just let him wait downstairs? We can keep going." "What are you thinking? He could come up any second. Last time he called you, we did the same thing. What's there to be scared of?" "Oh, you're so bad. Ugh, I hate you so much." Hearing that, I finally realized I'd already become a joke they got their kicks out of. Just then, the guy turned to face me. I saw him before in Jiangshu's WeChat moments, in their team-building photos. This guy is the company's vice president, Wang Peng. He looks like a decent human being on the outside. And from what he was saying, he clearly enjoyed the thrill of making a fool out of me. If I go up there and confront them right now, have a big fight and break up with Jiangshu, that's way too easy on her. A revenge plan quietly formed in my head right then. Before Jiangshu got in the elevator, I secretly took a photo of them holding hands. When I got downstairs, Jiangshu was already waiting by my car. I pretended like I didn't know anything and walked over to her. "I thought you were going to take way longer." So I went to the first floor to use the bathroom. "Oh, we finished early." "Hurry up and open the door. I'm freezing out here." The whole ride home, she pretended to be tired, resting with her eyes closed, which worked out for me because I didn't want to talk to her anyway. That night when she was asleep, I snuck a look at her phone. That's when I found out they'd already been fooling around for months. Jiangshu joined the company back in June and started flirting with Wang Peng in August. A little while ago, they finally crossed the final line and hooked up at the office under the excuse of working overtime. And while those two cheating scumbags were messing around together, I was at home like an idiot, cooking and doing laundry for Jiangshu, worrying she was overworked, scared she wouldn't be safe on her way home, daydreaming about our life after we get married. This is what she said to Wang Peng on WeChat. "He never suspects me, and he always spends money on me without complaining. What's so good about your frumpy old wife anyway? She's old and boring. Just divorce her already. If you get divorced, I'll break up with him." I couldn't believe this came from the person sleeping next to me. But there were thousands of chat records right there. Every single one felt like a whip lashing against my skin. Jiangshai's right. Before today, I never doubted her for a second. I never asked about her whereabouts. Never checked her phone. That's why she was so reckless. That she didn't delete the chat logs, right? I stared at the person sleeping next to me and suddenly thought she was so disgusting, so filthy I wanted to throw up. The next morning, Jiangshu's phone rang while she was doing her makeup. She picked it up like it was totally normal. "Hi, Mr. Wang. Is something up?" "Okay, I'll try to get in earlier today." to go over things with you. It's work stuff. Yeah, my boss is rushing me, can't help it. It's end of the year, there's so much work. I'll probably have to work overtime again today. I looked at her heavily made-up face and her tight bodycon dress and pretended to be concerned. Maybe I can pull some strings to get you a new job. I hate seeing you work this hard. But Jiangsha turned me down again and again, saying she wants to work hard while she's young. Plus, I already pulled favors for this job. It'd be awkward to quit now. When she was leaving, she leaned in to kiss me. The thought that this was the same mouth that was all over Wang Ping last night made me sick. So I pretended to look for something and dodged her. I found out from last night's chat logs that they had an agreement for calls. If I was around, she'd call him Mr. Wang. If I wasn't there, she could call him darling baby husband. Whatever she wanted. Jiangsha even called him daddy on WeChat. You can imagine how freaky they get in private. This Wang Peng obviously called on purpose. At this exact time, maybe flirting right in front of me really gets them off. If they love playing games this much, then I'll play along to the very end. I looked into Wang Peng's background. Turns out this guy not only has a wife, he already has 2 kids too. His wife quit her job after having kids to stay home and take care of the family full time. I paid someone to tail him for a while and found out he's also messing around with his married ex-girlfriend. Every time they meet, they head straight to a hotel. I collected all kinds of evidence and spent some time tracking down the contact info of his family, his ex-girlfriend, and the ex-girlfriend's husband. One day, Jiangsha lied to me again saying she had to work overtime. I replied coldly. Okay, don't forget to eat. I'd be heartbroken if you got hungry. You too, honey. Make sure you eat properly, okay? That night, I parked my car outside her office and used a new phone number I'd prepared beforehand to send a text to Wang Peng's wife. Does your husband always say he has to work overtime? You should watch out. Don't stay in the dark like an idiot. Some people are having way too much fun going back to their ex. She texted back almost immediately. But when she called, I hung up right away. So she had to text me instead. Who are you? What do you mean by that? He had a long-term ex-girlfriend, right? After I sent that reply. I didn't reply no matter how much she asked. After all, for a woman who's poured all her energy into her family, planting just a little bit of doubt about her husband is more than enough. I waited calmly in the car, and sure enough, Wang Peng came downstairs not long after. He looked super nervous, running towards the parking lot while holding his phone and rushing to explain something. Jiangsha followed behind him looking absolutely constipated. When I saw her come out too, I floored the gas and drove away satisfied. Wang Peng's wife might just be a housewife, but she's definitely not someone to mess with. Her parents run a local business, and she has 2 older brothers. She was basically spoiled rotten growing up. I heard she's pretty sharp and tough. Wang Peng was already messy with his ex, and after I tipped his wife off, if she really starts digging, who knows what will happen. So he's been laying really low lately. Not only going home right after work every day, also not sexting Jiangsha on WeChat in the middle of the night. That made Jiangsha so mad. Just like every mistress that wants to take the wife's place, she spammed Wang Peng with WeChat messages. What's so good about being controlled by that woman? She's old and mean. Am I not way better than her? But a guy like Wang Peng who got where he is, through his father-in-law's support, knows the difference. Between family and fun, he knows what's more important, to mess with Jiangsha more. I've also completely changed my attitude towards her these days. Whether we're arguing or having a disagreement, I never give in anymore. I often make him so mad his face turns bright red. How dare you yell at me? All the nice things you did for me before were fake. Of course, all men are the same. They never cherish you once they have you. I just let her throw her tantrum. I don't even bother to coax her at all. I just spread my hands casually. Think whatever you want then. Jiangsha got provoked by my reaction and became even more vengeful. She spammed Wang Peng with messages at midnight when I was asleep. She even threatened him. If he still dared to ignore her, she would throw all caution to the wind and go straight to his wife in person. This really scared Wang Peng. Plus, his wife had been keeping him on a tight leash for a while. He was really feeling pent up too, so the 2 of them came up with a business trip plan. Jiangshu went straight to the bedroom to pack as soon as she got home. Honey, our company arranged a last-minute HR training. I have to go on a business trip out of town tomorrow. Huh? How many days will you be gone? Just 2 days, I'll be back soon. Babe, don't you remember? Tomorrow is Saturday. We agreed to go for dinner with your parents, right? We can have that dinner anytime we want. If I miss this training opportunity, it's gone forever. Watching Jiangshi busy packing her luggage, I checked through her phone messages and found her hotel reservation info. The next day, Jiangshi wouldn't let me take her to the high-speed rail station. I didn't insist on going. I didn't just sit around after she left. I bought a couple of gifts and went to Jiangshi's parents' house first. Their house is less than a 2-hour drive from the city. Neither of her parents have a proper formal job. They also have an unemployed son at home who does nothing but play video games all day. Uncle, Auntie, I came to visit you two today. And Jiangshi doesn't know about this yet. Actually, I'm planning to propose to Jiangshi. Xiaochen, you've been dating Jiangshi for over a year. It's about time you two talk about marriage. But marriage is no small matter. I know marriage needs both our families to sit down and discuss everything carefully. Don't worry. Jiangshi is a really good girl. My family will definitely show full sincerity to marry her. Her dad's eyes glanced over the gifts I brought once. As parents, we don't ask for much. We just hope our daughter marries into a reasonable family. Actually, Jiangshu's parents have asked her more than once how much betrothal gift my family would give for our marriage. I already asked around a long time ago. The standard betrothal gift around Jiangshu's area is usually around 66,000 yuan, or 88,000 wen, which isn't too much. But her parents, for the sake of their deadbeat son, just want to rip me off badly. Uncle, you're absolutely right. You and Auntie can rest assured. My family will definitely give a bigger betrothal gift than other families. I'll make sure Jiangshu doesn't lose out to anyone else. After hearing my vague answer, her dad coughed lightly. Her mom cut in right away. Xiaochen, my daughter has a bachelor's degree, and she's very pretty. You probably don't know this. Even when I tell people Jiangshu already has a boyfriend, matchmakers still keep coming to our house, one after another to set her up. Our next-door neighbor married off their daughter last month. Their daughter is way worse than Jiangshu in every way, and the groom's family still gave a 500,000 wen betrothal gift. Auntie, my family will give 880,000 wen as the betrothal gift. Her mom was so shocked, she almost jumped out of her seat. Her dad was halfway through drinking his water and hadn't even swallowed it yet. Xiaochen, are you serious? Do your parents agree with this too? I've already talked it over with my parents, and they all agree with my plan. Her mom lit up with joy immediately. Oh, look how forgetful I am. You've been here so long and I forgot to make you tea. Auntie, I haven't finished talking yet. Also, the apartment I currently live in was bought by my parents in full with no mortgage. I will add Jiangshu's name to the house title later too. When Jiangshu marries me, I'll make sure she feels fully secure. As soon as I said this, the two of them were so happy they didn't know what to say. What are you still standing there for? Hurry up and wash some fruit for Xiaochen. I heard the sound of video games coming from the bedroom. I knew that was Jiangshu's good-for-nothing younger brother. Uncle, Auntie, I don't think it's good for Yang to just stay home all the time. Sigh, this silly kid. He turns down every job we find for him. He says easy jobs pay too little, and complains high-paying jobs are too tiring. He drives us crazy staying home all day. My friend runs a company, and he's currently looking for a driver. The job only requires driving clients around every month, and the salary is almost 10,000 wen a month. Shall I ask about this gig for Yang? This gig is super easy, pays really well, and you've got flexible hours. What do you guys think? The second his parents heard that, they grabbed my hands tightly and wouldn't let go. Is that true, Xiaochen? If this works out, you'll have solved a huge problem for our family. I told his dad a long time ago. Xiaochen is totally reliable. We can absolutely trust you with Jiangshu. Such a good, trustworthy kid. Haha, when you called Jiangshu to come back for the blind date, that's not what you said, right? Then Jiangshu's parents insisted I stay for dinner. I politely declined. My schedule was really tight that day after all. I still had serious business to take care of. When I arrived at the hotel Jiangshu booked, it was 10 p.m. The guy I hired to keep tabs on Jiangshu sent me the room number the second he checked in that afternoon. I then forwarded the room number 8402 to another guy. That's all I can do for you, buddy. Half an hour later, a guy wearing glasses walked into the hotel with a big, tough man. I hid by the stairwell and watched. The guy with glasses pretended to be a waiter delivering something and knocked on the door of room 8402. As soon as the door opened, the tough guy kicked it right open and Jiangshu's terrified scream rang out immediately. It wasn't too late at that time. A lot of people were still awake. They came out to see what was going on. I hid in the crowd and secretly recorded everything. Wang Peng and Jiang Shi were half-dressed, looking totally panicked. The tough guy was super buff to begin with, so he subdued Wang Peng easily. The guy with glasses suddenly pulled out a baseball bat. "You son of a bitch. You dared to cheat on me. I'm gonna beat the crap out of you today." He slammed the bat hard into Wang Peng's stomach. Wang Peng screamed in agony, clutched his stomach and fell to the ground. That hurt just listening to it. That felt great just watching it. Everyone outside was just watching the drama. No one dared to go in and stop it. Plus, onlookers these days can fill in the blanks themselves. Everyone would think this is a classic caught cheating scene. They all wanted to watch more of the show. Wang Peng's nose was bleeding like crazy from the beating. Jiang Shi hid in the corner screaming, panicking as she wrapped a towel around herself. She watched Wang Peng get beaten to the ground, curled up motionless like a shrimp. She threatened in a trembling voice, "Who are you people? If you keep hitting him, I'll call the cops. Go ahead, call them. When the cops get here, I'll say this guy was soliciting prostitutes in the hotel. This guy has a wife and kids at home. Are you his wife? Huh. If you are, go ahead and call the cops." The guy with glasses shut Jiang Shi right up. Wang Peng was lying on the ground and panicked when he heard the word cops. He immediately yelled to stop her. "No, don't call the cops." The crowd got more and more excited the more they heard. They all started whispering to each other, "He doesn't dare call the cops. He really was cheating, huh?" Jiang Shi was embarrassed and furious, but she had no clothes on, so she could only huddle in the corner, pulling the sheets and blankets over herself messily. That guy wasn't just some random person. He was the husband of Wang Peng's ex-girlfriend, a guy who was in the same boat as me. I sent him photos of Wang Peng and his ex-girlfriend. At the hotel yesterday, I told him if he wanted to get revenge, I could help him. As long as he didn't kill him, I promised Wang Peng wouldn't dare call the cops. That's how we got this whole scene. Wang Peng definitely didn't want this to get out. Otherwise, his lie to his wife about being on a business trip would be exposed. Plus his affair, with 2 women, would be enough to ruin his reputation completely and turn his family life upside down. When the guy with glasses had hit him enough, he grabbed Wang Peng's chin and ordered him to promise he'd never contact his ex again. Only then did he let him go. Watching Wang Peng beg for mercy on his knees was so satisfying. Sunday morning, Jiang Shi dragged her suitcase and came home looking exhausted. There was a red mark on her neck. It was super obvious. "Babe, you're back already. Why didn't you tell me? I would have picked you up." I pretended like I had no idea what happened. Jiang Shi lied without even blinking. They crammed all the training into one day, so it ended early. And most importantly, I missed you, silly. So I rushed back. I looked at her neck suspiciously. "What's wrong with your neck there? Are you allergic to something? I went for gua sha with my colleague, and it ended up like this. I'm super upset about this too. I would have never gone if I'd known. How the hell did she even think of using gua sha as a cover? I noticed it last night already." Wang Peng left a hickey on Jiang Shi's neck. I was really curious at first, how Jiang Shi would try to lie her way out of it when she got home. I never thought she'd get a gua sha treatment to cover it up. Jiang Shi said a few words to me, then made an excuse to take a shower, and hid in the bathroom with her phone. She was just checking up on her lover's injuries. I held back and didn't call her out on it. Their carefully planned hookup got ruined out of nowhere. Wang Peng got beaten so bad he was terrified. He acted like a coward again, and hid away like a turtle in its shell. When he runs into Jiang Shi at work, he doesn't dare say a single extra word to her. Scared someone might notice something off. After all, he still has no clue who exposed his secret with his ex-girlfriend. Wang Peng even begged Jiang Shi to delete all their chat history on her phone. Lucky for me, I already backed everything up. Jiang Shi was really annoyed again because of how cowardly Wang Peng was acting. The guy she thought she'd successfully won over just went right back to his family. What mistress would put up with that? When I was chatting with Jiang Shi, I intentionally brought up Wang Peng and his wife. "Babe, I swear I saw your company's VP. On the road earlier today, he was hugging his wife, being all sweet and caring. Such a good husband." I kept hyping up Wang Peng's wife like crazy, said she had great style and elegance, and that Wang Peng took such good care of her. He's totally a great husband. Jiang Shi was so mad her mouth was twitching, but she couldn't let anything slip in front of me. She kept spamming Wang Peng on WeChat to demand answers. "How long do you expect me to wait for you? I don't want to sneak around anymore." A few days after the whole cheating bust, Jiang Shi's company annual party was coming up. It was held at a 5-star hotel, and there was a solo singing performance spot. I volunteered to help her make the stage background video for her performance. The day before the annual party, I called Jiangshu's parents. Uncle, Auntie, I'm planning to propose to Jiangshu tomorrow. Would you two come to be my witnesses? Sure, no problem at all. I want to make it a surprise for her. So please don't spill the beans, okay? Ha ha ha, of course we won't. Oh right, Xiao Chen. About Zhang Yang's job.
Oh, I was so busy I forgot, Auntie.
I didn't tell you guys earlier. My friend said yes for my sake. After all, Zhang Yang is my future brother-in-law. He's basically my own little brother, right? Oh, Xiao Chen, you're really the best. We'll bring Zhang Yang over to thank you sometime. Jiangshu's parents thanked me over and over. I told them we're family. It's the least I can do. The whole time, I only stressed one thing. Jiangshu and I are getting married soon, so helping Zhang Yang is only natural. Which means, if Jiangshu and I don't end up getting married, her brother has nothing to do with me at all. Jiangshu's parents were over the moon. They wanted us to get married right away. I even heard that recently her parents have been taking her brother apartment hunting. Can you believe it? The happier they are now, the more disappointed they'll be when they find out the truth. This is all your precious daughter's fault. The next day, Shaoxi woke up extra early to do her hair and makeup for 2 hours, then put on her fancy, expensive evening gown and headed out. I didn't even need to ask what she was thinking. At her company annual party, all the executives bring their spouses. Jiangxi was fully determined to outdo Wang Peng's wife right in front of him. I dropped Jiangxi off at the hotel, then snuck in right after her. The hotel lobby wasn't very big. I hid in the most remote corner pretending to be on a call. All the staff thought I worked for the company. No one asked me any questions. After the party officially started, the boss and vice presidents went up to speak one by one. When it was Wang Peng's turn, I sent his wife a text message. A man as outstanding as Mr. Gao deserves a better woman. When love is gone, it's gone. Do you really think forcing things will work? He held me and said that you're a shrill, boring old housewife. I really feel sorry for you. I'm performing today. I hope you watch carefully with your own eyes. Whether it's you who fits him better, or if it's me, Wang Peng's wife was happily recording the speech with her phone. Her face fell immediately when she got the text. Sorry about that. But I'm not making this up. These words are exactly what Wang Peng and Jiangshu said on WeChat word for word. And this is literally what Jiangshu thinks right now. After Wang Peng stepped off the stage, he seemed to notice his wife was in a bad mood and asked a couple of questions. His wife kept a cold face and said nothing at all, just kept staring intensely the whole time at every young girl who came up to perform. Right then my phone rang. It was Jiangshu's parents. Yes, uncle. You guys can just come right in. I'm right at the lobby entrance. Liu Yang was with Jiangshu's parents too. Liu Yang knew I'd helped him find a super easy, high-paying job. He smiled extra wide when he saw me. Kept calling me brother-in-law non-stop. That had never happened before. This kid never respected me deep down. Otherwise, when I went to their house last time, she wouldn't have avoided saying hi the whole time. Jiangshu's performance is about to start. I'll go up on stage to propose right after it ends. Everyone from her company will cooperate. It was finally Jiangshu's turn to perform. When she walked onto the stage lights instantly turned soft and romantic. Pair that with her delicate makeup and off-the-shoulder dress that showed her collarbones. She looked totally dreamy and high-end. First, there were quiet gasps of amazement from the crowd. Then everyone started cheering and clapping non-stop. Jiangshu looked at Wang Peng sitting at the front table, her eyes full of provocation. Like she was saying, "See that? I'm young and pretty. Can that old woman next to you even compare?" I crossed my arms over my chest. I was so excited inside I could barely contain it. This moment had finally arrived. The big screen started playing a video. After a short intro, a beautiful instrumental track started playing. Jiangshu picked up the mic and started singing slowly, and soon got totally immersed in her performance, but didn't notice everyone in the audience had turned pale. Yep, I swapped the original MV. I kept the background music, but changed the footage to the video of her and Wang Peng checking into a hotel room. A guy only wearing a pair of shorts was beaten so bad he couldn't stand up straight. The equally disheveled woman was screaming in panic. This caught-on-scene cheating footage, playing on the hotel's huge LED screen, was unbelievably shocking. Jiangshu's parents were standing next to me, completely stunned. Liu Yang was the first to speak. "Mom, isn't that my sister? She actually went to a hotel with another guy. Stop talking nonsense. His mom cut him off immediately, then looked at me nervously. Xiaochen, that's definitely not Jiang Shi. She's my own daughter. I can't be wrong. It's definitely not her. The reckless, dumb Liu Yong still kept arguing. How is that not her? His dad shot him a look and shut him up mid-sentence. I acted like I couldn't listen to anything, looking completely confused and shocked the whole time. Of course, I was faking it. Xiaochen. Her dad's voice was shaking a little. There must be some kind of misunderstanding here. Now look at that bastard Wang Ping. He actually still had the nerve to sit there, his mouth half open, staring at the big screen, his eyes almost popping out of his head. Jiang Shi saw Wang Peng's expression from the stage. She probably still thought he was so enchanted by her he couldn't think straight, so she looked even more smug. The boss and all the leaders in the front row all looked like they'd just swallowed a fly. Some people in the back started making creepy catcalls. As Jiang Shi kept singing, she realized something was wrong. It seemed like no one in the audience was looking at her. They were all looking at the screen behind her. She turned around slowly. Right. Then the camera zoomed in on her messy hair look. Jiang Shi froze on the spot. The mic in her hand fell to the floor, making a sharp, screeching noise. I looked absolutely devastated and said, Uncle, can you still say that's not Jiang Shi now? Her parents had nothing to say. They were so embarrassed they wanted to hide in a hole. Right now everyone's eyes were fixed on Jiang Shi and Wang Peng, as well as Wang Peng's wife. Wang Peng looked like a begging dog wagging its tail. He was this close to kneeling in front of his wife. Honey, it's not like that. Let me explain. His wife was relatively calm for the moment. You couldn't even tell she was angry from her tone. This is what you promised me. That you'd never mess around? But what woman wouldn't be angry seeing her husband cheating and checking into a hotel with someone else? It's just the calm before the storm. Honey, let's go home first. I'll explain everything to you when we get home, okay? One ex-girlfriend wasn't enough for you. Now you're hooking up with that little vixen from the company. No wonder you kept saying you had to work overtime every day, honey. I really never did anything to hurt you. Wang Peng still dared to lie even when he was dead to rights. That finally made his wife snap. She slammed her hand on the table hard. She pointed at Wang Peng's nose and yelled at the top of her lungs. Try talking nonsense again and see what happens. I'll deal with that little vixen first, then I'll deal with you. Hell yeah, hell yeah. The legal wife finally brought out all her badass energy. That's exactly how it should be. If Jiang Shi's parents weren't standing next to me, I would definitely have cheered out loud. The senior management's tables were closest to the stage. Wang Peng's wife rushed onto the stage in just a few steps. Jiang Shi was so scared that she kept backing away, but her hair got grabbed hard by the wife. Tell me, which legal wife wouldn't want to kill the mistress when she sees her? Especially from Wang Peng's wife's perspective. This video was probably staged by Jiang Shi herself. She deliberately played it during the performance to provoke me. She swung her fist hard at Jiang Shi's face. Yes, she swung a fist. Most women slap each other when they fight. This woman is really something else. Her fists were flying so fast. I suspect she's practiced boxing before. You bitch, you're proud of being a mistress, huh? You even throw yourself at a man while you're singing. You think I can't see that? How dare you hit on my husband? I'll fucking kill you. Do you believe me? Jiang Shi screamed in pain. She could only raise her arms to cover her face. She couldn't fight back at all. People who rushed onto the stage to pull them apart. People below yelling, people recording videos, people just watching the drama unfold. Everyone was in total chaos. It took everyone a lot of effort to pull the two apart. Jiang Shi had already been beaten to a pulp. Even though she was totally humiliated by this, she had to go over to protect her daughter at this point, probably because she was beaten so badly, and also because she was so ashamed and angry. Jiang Shi completely lost her mind. She yelled hysterically at Wang Peng's wife with red eyes. Fine, let's get everything out in the open today. He doesn't love you anymore, you get that. He doesn't love you. You two are getting divorced sooner or later. You just gave birth to 2 kids for him, that's all. What do you think you have going for you? Wang Peng said you're just a... Before she could finish her sentence, Jiang Shi fell hard to the ground. Everyone was stunned. Wang Peng had actually slapped Jiang Shi hard across the face. He pointed at Jiang Shi and called her a stinking bitch. You've been hitting on me ever since you joined the company. You even tricked me into going to a hotel. I'm telling you, the person I love most in this whole world is my wife. What the hell do you think you are? You're not even worthy of being compared to my wife. Wang Peng's gaze was vicious. He looked like he wanted to kill someone. I'm warning you, if you keep trying to ruin my family, I'd rather give up this job I will never let you and your whole family get away with this. Jiangxi was completely stunned. She looked at her lover in disbelief. Her mouth opened and closed several times, but she couldn't say a single word. You know, just before she went on stage, the two of them were still making eyes at each other, flirting with each other nonstop. But Jiangxi never expected, when it came down to a fight with his wife, she was nothing to Wang Peng, not even worth a fart. What Wang Peng said last was clearly a threat to her. Wang Peng turned around and begged his wife bitterly, "Honey, let's go home first, okay? I'm begging you, please." He worked so hard to set up this trap, as if I'd just let him leave. I watched the drama for long enough. It was finally my turn to step in. I got my emotions ready first. I ran onto the stage with the bouquet I'd prepared long ago. I punched Wang Peng as hard as I could. I'd been holding back this punch for so long, he didn't see it coming at all. He stumbled a few steps and fell to the ground. He spit out a mouthful of blood, along with one of his front teeth. I'd picked Jiang Shi up from her company many times before, so a lot of people in the company knew who I was. I was totally justified in throwing that punch. I looked at Jiang Shi, heartbroken. I was going to propose to you today, you know, but I never expected you'd been lying to me for so long. This married man. What's so good about him anyway? Tell me! Come on, tell me! I yelled, half real, half acting. Jiang Shi was guilty and scared. She was so scared she started crying right away. Her hair was messy, her makeup was ruined, and her face was swollen. I threw the bouquet hard at her. I left after saying one last sentence. "Jiang Shi, we're done." After I walked out, I finally let out a long sigh of relief. I finally vented all the frustration I'd bottled up these days. I felt totally refreshed. Whatever Wang Peng and Jiang Shi have to face next, they brought it all on themselves. There's still one last thing I need to do. I packed up all the stuff I collected earlier, including proof of Wang Peng hooking up with his ex, and proof of Wang Peng hooking up with Jiang Shi. There are thousands of flirty WeChat messages, exchanged between the two over the past few months, and even the full video of me catching them cheating on the business trip. I sent a copy to Wang Peng's wife, another to his parents, and one to every single employee in the company. I got all the work email addresses from Jiang Shi's work account on her tablet. I made sure both the wronged family members and all the gossip lovers got their share of the tea. Whether Wang Peng's wife will divorce him or not is none of my business, but I'm gonna ruin that bastard's reputation for good. I never thought as someone who always gossips online. I'd make a PPT one day just because I got cheated on. After I finished all this, I had a really good long sleep. Early the next morning, Jiang Shi was dragged to my place by her mom, but I didn't let them in. Her parents actually still wanted to beg for her forgiveness. "Xiao Chen, you and Ruyan have been together for so long. You two have real feelings for each other. Don't do anything impulsive, okay?" I kept a cold face the whole time. "Auntie, since you're already here, we might as well make things clear right now. I thought we could become a family and support each other. I'd gain another pair of parents and another little brother, but there's absolutely no way Jiang Shi and I can get back together now, that's for sure." "Calm down, Xiao Chen. Can you think this over again? Jiang Shi has already learned her lesson. If you're still mad, you can hit or scold her as much as you want, as long as you let your anger out." Jiang Shi yelled angrily at her dad. "Dad!" I saw Jiang Shi's face was even more swollen than yesterday, and her eyes were red and puffy from crying. I didn't feel an ounce of sympathy for her. "Uncle, you don't have to bother. You're a man too. If you were in my shoes, would you be able to tolerate this? I've already packed all of Jiang Shi's stuff. You can take all of it back with you now. This place isn't a garbage dump. I don't take in any random trash." I said that really harshly. Jiang Shi's body trembled, then glared at me angrily. I didn't even spare her a single glance. "What? Is there any damn thing I said that's wrong?" I threw the packed suitcase outside the door, then slammed the door shut without saying a word. Jiang Shi's dad saw there was no way to fix this, and started yelling at Jiang Shi right outside my door. "You useless piece of trash! Look at the mess you've gotten us into. Your mom and I have worked our asses off for your marriage, and now your mom lost her job. On top of that, your mom and I have to lose face over you. And what about your little brother? Your brother's job and house were all ruined because of your shameless behavior. He offered you 500K as bride price, and was even willing to add your name to the house deed. Where else are you gonna find a guy like that? What the hell are we gonna do now, huh?" Jiang Shi screamed back. "What does buying a house for your son have anything to do with me? You keep making me marry a rich guy, just so you can leech off me to support him, right? Stop acting like loving parents now. You ungrateful little brat. How dare you talk to your old man like that? Yelling, hitting, and crying could be heard nonstop. Her mom shouted, "Stop hitting her, stop." People will see us if we keep this up. Let's talk about this when we get home. Get the hell out of my sight. I don't have a daughter like you. I watched the whole thing on my door camera and burst out laughing. When I was buttering up Jiangshu's parents earlier, wasn't this exactly what I wanted? The bigger the promise I made, the more they'll hate their own daughter. Things weren't going any better for Wang Peng either. He had to deal with his wife on one hand and tried desperately to keep his job on the other. But inside the company, people whispered about him wherever he went. He couldn't stand it anymore and packed his stuff and left on his own. His wife immediately filed for divorce, demanding he leave the house with nothing. The 2 kids would go with her. Wang Peng also had to pay a significant amount of child support every month. After Wang Peng begged for mercy to no avail, he originally refused to leave the house with nothing and was even willing to fight in court for the property, only to get beaten half to death by his parents. His parents were university professors before retiring and are very decent people. When their son did something so terrible that everyone was furious, they didn't even make excuses for him and readily agreed to their daughter-in-law's demands. The old couple only asked to see their grandson often later on. Right at this moment, Jiangsu pulled a totally ridiculous stunt. Jiangshu's parents originally thought that with the 500,000 yuan betrothal gift from my family, plus their own savings, it would be no problem to cover the down payment for their son's house. Liu Yong could pay the mortgage with his own salary. So they rushed around viewing houses and even paid the deposit. But who would have thought I'd break up with Jiangshu? All their plans went completely down the drain. But if they backed out of buying the house, the 100,000 yuan deposit would be gone for good. So they had to borrow money everywhere and finally scrape together enough for the down payment. The whole family, Jiangshai was dead set on moving up the social ladder. His parents were determined to work for their son's house. They all threw their dignity out the window and even came up with the stupid idea of having Jiangshu fake a pregnancy. Wang Peng avoided Jiangshu like the plague.
Jiangshu actually took
the pregnancy test report and went straight to his parents' house. Wang Peng's mom was so angry that she fainted. His dad called an ambulance and immediately called the police right after. In front of the police, Jiangshu didn't dare to lie anymore and honestly admitted that she was not pregnant at all. Wang Peng was already seething about his wife, getting nothing in the divorce. After he found out about this, he immediately took a group of people to Jiangshu's house and smashed the entire place to pieces. Jiangshu's parents were also furious and called the police again. The 2 sides fought like rabid dogs. It was such an amazing drama. I laughed about it for ages. One midnight, Jiangshu suddenly lost her mind for no reason and actually called me to yell at me. "Xiaochen, what makes you so high and mighty? How dare you talk to me like that? I cheated on you, so what? Wang Peng and I hooked up more than just that one time at the hotel. You simp didn't even know that, did you?" I replied to her super casually. "Oh, you mean those overtime shifts? The records of your overtime sessions with General Gao? I'm the one who sent them to all your work email addresses for you. I did that so all your colleagues would know how dedicated you 2 are to your jobs." Jiangshu on the other end of the line froze and said nothing for a long time. She was grinding her teeth in anger. "Xiaochen, it was actually you?" Before she could finish speaking, I hung up the phone and then blocked her. Jiangshu has always been arrogant and stuck up, who toyed with me, the so-called simp, as she pleased. When she finds out the truth, she'll probably spit blood from anger. Karma always catches up with trashy people. If karma doesn't get them, I will. After hanging up the phone, I didn't let my guard down at all. I knew exactly what Jiangshu's family was like, and sure enough, just 2 days later, the whole narrative changed completely. A post went viral super fast on the local trending list, with an extremely sensational title, 8 years of youth wasted on a dog, exposing the truth of how a controlling scumbag drove his ex-girlfriend to death. In the post, Jiangshu portrayed herself as a pure, innocent martyr who endured humiliation for love. She claimed she worked very hard, but was long-term emotionally abused by her extremely controlling boyfriend. As for the so-called cheating video, she even turned the tables on me, saying I made it with AI deepfake technology. She said I did it because she wanted to break up, and I turned hateful from rejected love to ruin her reputation and career. She even attached a photo of herself with injuries on her face and a terrified look in her eyes. That was obviously from when Wang Peng's wife beat her at the annual party. but she claimed it was solid proof that I domestically abused her. In the comment section, uninformed netizens got swept up by the narrative. All of them were filled with righteous anger. This kind of scumbag who spreads rumors to ruin a girl's reputation deserves to go to hell. That's so terrifying. This kind of man is so disgusting. If he can't have her, he destroys her. I laughed in anger when I saw these comments. Zhang Shai was trying to use public opinion to reverse the situation. She not only wanted to clear her name, but also wanted to frame me and extort money. Since she wanted to escalate this, then I would show her what it means to get exactly what you asked for. Over the next few days, Zhang Shi's family saw that I had no reaction and thought I was scared. So they got even bolder. On Friday night, I just parked my car in the garage when I saw a few figures rush out from the dark. It was exactly Zhang Shi's family of 4. Zhang Shi still had injuries on her face, but she was wearing light, delicate makeup, making her look extra pitiful. Her useless younger brother Zhang Yang was holding a phone and was actually live streaming right at me. "Hey everyone, this is him." This scumbag is the one who got my sister fired. And now he's playing dumb. Zhang Shi's mom rushed over and tried to grab my sleeve. I dodged her coldly. She immediately plopped down on the ground. Slapping her thigh, she started wailing. "No justice at all. You toyed with my daughter's feelings. Now you're abandoning her when she's desperate. Everyone, come take a look." Lots of neighbors in the neighborhood who just got off work stopped to watch the commotion. They whispered and pointed at me. I watched their lousy performance and felt completely unfazed. I even wanted to laugh. I straightened my collar and looked at Jiang Shi calmly. "What are you trying to do? Extort me?" Jiang Shi's eyes were red from crying, looking like she'd been horribly wronged. "Xiaochen, I don't want anything else. I'll accept it since you want to break up. But you faked a video to ruin my reputation, which got me fired from my job. How are you going to settle this?" "I'm not an unreasonable person. You need to compensate me for emotional damages and youth loss, adding up to 1 million yuan, and we'll drop this whole thing. Otherwise, I'll make sure you can't get by in this city." 1 million? I raised an eyebrow. "Is this to cover the down payment shortfall for your apartment? Or Zhang Yong's high-interest loans? You need money that badly to pay those off." Zhang Yong's face fell instantly, like a cat that just got its tail stepped on. "Bullshit. That's none of my business. Hand over the money now, or I'll come block you at your workplace every single day." Zhang Shi's dad also walked over with a dark look on his face, putting on the airs of a senior elder. "Xiaochen, you should leave people a way out. Even though you're the one who wronged Zhang Shi, we're not asking for much. 1 million yuan is just pocket change for your family. You just pay the money and delete the original video, and we'll pretend we never knew each other. Otherwise, we've got nothing to lose. We're not scared of you." So that's their little scheme. Pressuring me with public opinion, plus offline harassment. They bet I'd pay up to save face and avoid trouble. Too bad they picked the wrong guy to mess with. I used to be willing to compromise for Jiang Shi, but the me right now is here to make sure they get what they deserve. "Zhang Yong, how many viewers are in your live stream?" I asked suddenly. Zhang Yong was stunned for a second. He smugly shoved his phone screen in my face. "Over 3,000 people. Everyone's watching right now. Let's see how you can deny this." "Very good," I nodded. I pulled my own phone out of my pocket. Since everyone's watching, I might as well show everyone the real truth. I called the police in front of everyone and turned on the speakerphone. "Hello, I'd like to report a crime. Someone is extorting money in the underground parking lot of a residential community. The amount involved is huge, and they're also provoking trouble via live stream right now. I have full audio and video evidence. Yes, please send officers over as soon as possible." I hung up the phone. All 4 of them were stunned. Jiang Shi screamed, "Why are you calling the police? You're the one who owes me. You spread filthy rumors about me." I let out a cold laugh. I turned to face Zhang Yong's livestream camera and said in a clear, loud voice, "Hello everyone watching online. Since you're all here for the drama, let me clear up a few things. First, Jiang Shi got fired because she had a long-term improper relationship with her married company vice president Wang Ping and traded sex for favors at the company. I've already sent all related evidence to all staff at her company. Shut up, you're lying." Jiang Shi tried to lunge at my phone like a madwoman. I pushed her away hard. She stumbled and fell into her mom's arms. I continued speaking to the camera. Second, the so-called AI face swap is total nonsense. That video is real footage. Part of it is even hotel security camera footage. To prove it's real, I've already entrusted a lawyer to get all Of the original footage notarized. If Miss Jiangshi insists it's fake, she's welcome to sue me. Third, I stared sharply at Jiangshi's father, who was trying to avoid my gaze. Your whole family came here today to demand 1 million yuan, calling it a breakup fee, but it's actually extortion. This 1 million is to cover your precious son's down payment loan gap, right? Also, I heard Zhang Yang owes a lot more from betting on soccer a few days ago. You're slandering me. Jiang Yong panicked. He didn't dare keep live streaming and tried to turn it off, but the comment section was already blowing up. The sentiment of the bullet comments reversed immediately. This guy speaks so clearly and logically, and he even dared to call the police directly. It sounds like he's telling the truth. This woman's whole family looks like a bunch of hooligans and scammers. Jiangshi's mom saw things going south and pulled out her ultimate trick of throwing a full-on tantrum. She suddenly scrambled up from the ground and charged straight at my car. I don't want to live anymore. You're bullying me. Rich people are bullying ordinary folks. Of course, she didn't actually hit the car. The second she was about to touch the front bumper, she deliberately fell over, holding her head and moaning loudly in fake pain. I'd already been expecting this trick. I turned around and pointed above my head. See that thing with the blinking red light? That's a high-definition 360-degree security camera. Ma'am, that fake fall you just pulled. If you don't go be a soccer goalkeeper. It's such a waste of talent. Also, my car has been running this whole time. The dash cam is recording everything too. Right then, a sharp siren rang out, facing the police. The entire Zhang family lost their nerve immediately. Zhang Yang tried to hide his phone, but was shouted to stop by the police. Who called the police? What's going on here? I stepped forward. With a calm expression, Officer, I'm the one who called. These 4 people cornered and insulted me.
In a public space?
And tried to blackmail me for 1 million RMB through slander and false accusations. I have audio recordings of the entire incident. There's also video evidence saved on the platform. From his live stream just now. Come back to the station with us to make a statement first. At the police station, this whole family's act completely fell apart. Faced with my audio evidence, and the live stream replay that Zhang Yang didn't have time to delete, they couldn't deny the fact that they demanded 1 million RMB from me at all, even though they didn't actually get the money, and the case was triggered by a relationship dispute. The police temporarily classified it as a public security case, but that was more than enough to land them in serious trouble. Jiangshi's mom caused a huge scene at the station, so she was detained for 5 days. Zheng Yang spread rumors and caused trouble via his live stream, so he was detained for 7 days as well, and his account was banned by the platform. When we left the police station, it was already midnight. Jiangshi and her dad stood at the entrance looking completely humiliated. They watched me get into my car. Jiangshi rushed over and banged on my window, Xiao Chen.
Do you really have to be this ruthless?
8 years of relationship. You really don't care about our past at all. She was crying so hard her voice was hoarse. I rolled down the car window, only leaving a tiny crack open. The moment you chose to be Wang Peng's plaything, cheated on me without hesitation, and plotted against me with your family. We had no old feelings left to hold on to. And your karma isn't even over yet. After I said that, I rolled up the window, hit the gas, and drove away. When I said her karma wasn't over, I wasn't bluffing at all. Wang Peng's wife and I aren't friends, but we have a common enemy. That lady is a total go-getter who gets things done fast. After Wang Peng left the marriage with nothing, she had no intention of letting the mistress who ruined her family off the hook. The day after Jiangshu's mom and her brother were released from detention, the loan shark that Zhang Yang borrowed high-interest money from showed up at their door. Turns out to scrape together the house down payment, Zhang Yong didn't just borrow money. He was stupid enough to use his parents' pension account as collateral. Now they can't buy the house. Half the down payment was withheld for breach of contract, and Zhang Yong secretly took the rest to gamble to win back his losses, only to lose every last cent. The loan shark brought a bunch of tough guys with him and blocked their front door directly. Jiangshu's dad had a high blood pressure attack on the spot from rage and was sent to the hospital. All of Jiangshu's former colleagues and friends, even her so-called best friend group, blocked her on all platforms. After all, no one wants to be associated with someone who knowingly became a mistress, got exposed publicly in a nationwide live stream, and tried to blackmail people. When she went to job interviews, as soon as they scanned her ID, any half-decent formal company would run a background check and turn her down immediately. Half a month later, I saw Jiangshu at a high-end restaurant. It wasn't a random encounter. I was there to eat. She worked there as a waitress. It's a super popular internet-famous restaurant downtown. When Jiangshi walked over in her waitress uniform, her hands were shaking badly. The arrogant, stuck-up look she used to have was gone from her face, replaced by deep exhaustion and obvious nervousness. The second she saw me, she froze completely. The soup on her tray almost spilled out.
Hey, isn't that Jiangshi?
A friend sitting next to me recognized her. Why did you quit your HR assistant job? Switched careers to experience regular life now. Jiangshi kept her head lowered, her face flushed bright crimson. She bit her lip hard. Didn't dare say a single word. The server came over to pour the wine. I spoke calmly, without even glancing at her. Her hands shaking, she picked up the decanter to pour me wine. Maybe it was because she was too nervous, or maybe it was the humiliation. Her hands were trembling badly. A few drops of red wine splashed on my cuff. I'm so sorry. Panicked, she tried to grab a tissue to wipe it for me. Her eyes were filled with terror. She wasn't scared of me. She was scared of losing this only job that put food on her table. Right now, she's saddled with her younger brother's debts and has to support her half-paralyzed dad and jobless mom. Every single cent she earns is life-saving money. The foreman rushed over right away and started yelling at Jiangshi nonstop. What's wrong with you? You're so clumsy. If the customer files a complaint, you can forget about getting today's pay. Jiangshi hung her head. Big tears rolled down her face, one after another. I'm sorry, manager. I didn't do it on purpose. Please don't cut my pay. The foreman turned to me with an apologetic smile. Sir, we are really sorry. This is a new temp worker. She doesn't know the rules yet. I'll get someone else to serve you right away. This bottle of wine is on the house. I waved my hand. Looking at the humbled Jiangshi, the last bit of softness I felt for her completely vanished. 3 months later, I heard from a friend that, after that day, Jiangshi quit her job. Someone later saw her at a nightclub. Not as a hostess, though. She worked there as a cleaner. As for her little brother Jiang Yong, he got one leg broken while hiding from debt collectors. Now the whole family is crammed in a basement. In the urban-rural fringe area, they spend every day fighting and cursing. As for me, I sold the apartment I originally planned to use as my wedding home and bought a large Riverview flat instead. With those leeches off my back, my life got back on track. One weekend 6 months later, I was shopping at the mall with my new girlfriend. She's gentle and generous, and works as a college teacher. Her parents are very reasonable. We get along really well. When we passed a jewelry store, I spotted a familiar back figure. It was Jiangshi's mom. She was wearing worn-out clothes, pressing her face against the shop window looking inside. Her eyes were full of greed and envy. She was probably fantasizing that, if they hadn't messed things up back then, all the gold jewelry inside would probably have been partially hers. She turned around and saw me and my girlfriend next to me, who was holding my arm and looked really elegant. In that moment, I could clearly see in her eyes that deep, bitter regret. She opened her mouth, as if she wanted to call me Xiao Chen, and run up to me to put on another sympathy act. But I just gave her a cold glance, then turned to my girlfriend with a smile and said, "Come on, let's go buy that necklace you had your eye on just now." My girlfriend smiled happily. Really? That's too expensive. It's fine, spending money on my future wife is totally the right thing to do. This moment is the real happy ending. Some people, once you miss them, are gone forever, and some people simply don't deserve happiness. As for how terrible the Jiang family's life will get in the future, it's none of my business anymore. After all, trash belongs in the trash can. Not in my world,